Hi, Alicia.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm taking my
Good. Do you have any
husband.
questions this morning?
No, I just wanted to come a little bit early because I'm taking my husband to the doctor's appointment and I won't be able to be all the way in, so I just decided to come a little bit early. Yes, and I have a few questions since I have you here and since you
Yeah,
the
ask me.
one
I gotta
here.
get a Kleenex. I gotta get a Kleenex, but I can hear you, so keep talking.
Sure. Um, Actually, I start doing module 5.
Okay.
And it's because I'm very old-fashioned. I don't know much about social media. I've been doing everything very slow.
Okay.
Been in the business for 15 years, and I have a lot of clients that I just follow up with them, past clients, center of influence, and I don't do any really no marketing at all. I mean, just I don't use a lot Facebook. I do have a page, but I don't even have it really nice like everybody else. So right now I'm in the process of making my business page on Facebook, but
Okay.
it's a little challenging because I don't know what to put in there. So it,
Um, so do you have anybody that can help you or that, or you just don't know what to put like in the information and all that?
I don't know what to put in the information. I don't know how to fill the blanks in. Like, I see a lot of people. I probably need a little help how to manage a little bit. I know how I've been looking at the videos,
Mm,
Krista's and I have a pretty good idea. It's just
okay.
that I don't know how to make it look very professional. Just
Okay. So you need to go to office hours because they'll help you. Okay.
okay,
So that's the best thing you can do.
okay,
And I mean, it's very important. People don't use that like they should. And a lot of people, there isn't tons of people that show up. So you're going to get a lot of help. You know what I mean?
yeah. And I was getting into the office hours, but sometimes I feel a little bit odd because everybody talks and everybody says, "Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that," and everybody sounds to know what they're doing. And for me, like I feel kind of embarrassed because I
You can't
don't know.
compare yourself. Well, you can't compare yourself and you cannot be embarrassed because if there's, I mean, we've all heard that there's not a stupid question, right?
Right.
Right. And so you have to, I mean, this is all about you getting better for you, not to impress anybody except your clients. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And
Yeah.
so you're adorable. You
Thank you. Thank you. What I did, I'm closing a deal. I should be recording Monday, and I'm planning to print some cards, some postcards, and I'm having my title company to help me to design it because I don't know how to do it. And it seems like he's doing a pretty good job. And I decided to use Krista's colors because they're very attractive. And I see how it comes. I mean, it just like this is gonna be the first time that I actually gonna send those postcards. I'm gonna mail them out and see how it comes.
somehow I muted myself. I'm sitting here talking.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, why is she so quiet?
Um, so you need to figure out what your second one is.
Okay.
Your second postcard.
Okay. Um, Actually, I did at the beginning. I did the regular flyer,
Uh-huh.
and I passed it around in person. And I went to the
Yeah.
multi-unit place,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
talked to a lot of people. And the second one, because I got like 14 offers in the first 7 days, so I just said sold 40,000 about asking price, just sold. And now I'm gonna say just sold about the same, but it's gonna be in the back. I'm gonna put what did I put? I put like call me for any free market analysis and the community sells something like that. I don't remember. I don't recall what I did
Good.
exactly, but
Uh-huh.
it's the third postcard that I'm going to be doing. The rest I just deliver it myself. But this one I'm going to mail it out because
Yep.
I want to do like the whole, maybe about 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's not going to be really expensive. I mean, the title is helping me because I'm being referring a lot of loans, a lot of loans and a lot of loans I'm sorry, a lot of loans and a lot of sales to him. So
Mm-hmm.
he's very cooperative with me.
That's awesome.
Yes. So that is, and I'm like doing a little prospect here and there, but not really like I used to be a very heavy door knocking. And that's
Oh,
how I
really?
built relationship with people because
Uh-huh.
I not really did any type of social media, nothing like that. But now I wanted to do it just because I see a lot of people is very successful, and especially you. Um, but like I say, it's just hard for me to do the videos because I feel that I don't know how to express myself. I don't like my accent. I don't like the way I look. So
Well,
I'm
that's
really
not, I don't, you shouldn't, you need to not think about that because that's not true. All of us. So do you speak Spanish?
yes.
Okay. So why don't you do them in Spanish? Why don't you do the videos in Spanish?
Because I have a lot of majority of my clients are Filipino, and
Do them both ways. I mean, I think being able to speak Spanish is like a superpower.
okay,
If you got in, I mean, I don't know. I think you do them both ways. I think a lot of people have done them both ways in this program that have come and gone, and it's been very good for them. And you look beautiful. So you need to smile and you need to get in front of a camera and go. If you don't start, you never get better. Like I found my voice. Now I mean, if you would have told me 3.5 years ago that I would be doing what I'm doing, I wouldn't have believed it. I found my voice because of these videos. And now I can write my own scripts and everything. I didn't used to be able to do that. And that's because I found my voice. You have to find yours. So you need to do the script, record them. Who cares? Who cares what they look like? I'm actually going to do a whole series about, and I'm recording them all on my phone. And I'm going to pick my phone up like this. I'm going to put a microphone in it and I'm going to record like this. Can you send that closing extension? So,
really, that easy.
yep. Okay. So just do it. Okay.
Okay.
Every time you think of you, so years ago when I met Leslie Bennett, I guess
Okay.
I told her to just shut up and do it. So I'm telling you that too. You just do it. So every time you're down, you think of me telling you just shut up and do it. You can do it. I have no doubt. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I'm really trying my best. It's not
I
easy
know.
because maybe I'm used to be in my comfort zone for so long.
Well, do you want to get better? Do you want to make more money?
Absolutely.
Okay. That has to be your driving. That has to be your driving force.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, if like, we were just talking today about my main right-hand gal and we're stressed, but guess what? We're not going to get any better if we don't put ourselves outside of the box. Right.
Right. Right.
And so anyways, that's kind of how it goes. I have to sign an offer. So I'll be right back.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Talk amongst yourselves. Hey, Bernadette. Okay. Hi, Michelle.
Hey, Heidi. It's so quiet, so I thought I'd say something.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Who is this?
This is Bernadette. I'm not have my camera on because I'm getting ready. And I just kind of physically just literally got out of the shower. So anyway, I heard you telling Alicia that you're not out of your comfort zone. I was like you. But I spent so much money already in other coaching programs.
Okay.
And this one is so different because of the fact that, we use the video. It's a
Mhm.
social media type of thing, not like the others. It's all about just mentoring and,
Right.
all motivational stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm a Filipino, so I know what you mean. And I have also been thinking about doing it in Tagalog, doing my videos in Tagalog.
It's
So I
good.
can at least capture the Filipino community if I couldn't capture the others.
Right.
So yeah, just do it. When you were talking to Alicia earlier, you were fine and you're on camera. So you just do the same thing as if you're talking to someone.
I've been doing a lot of videos, but I don't post it. I've been practicing with my other friend, and we are, making those videos, but it didn't come out the way I wanted. It's just so I don't like the way.
I hear you. I was the same way. I was trying to make it perfect. But then ever since Krista started talking about done is better than perfect, just do it. That's just like Alicia said. Once you get it done, who cares? Just put it out there, because the thousands and thousands of people you're gonna be posting it on Facebook, you don't even know them and they don't know you that much. So, who cares?
Bernadette, where are you?
I'm in Vallejo, like 60 miles off of San Francisco in Northern California.
Ah, okay, okay. Well, I'm married with a Filipino guy, so that's why I
Oh,
married to him for 30 something years already.
oh, me too. Yeah.
It's already big, already grown up.
Yeah, just like I couldn't stress it anymore than just saying just do it, because that was my problem. Finally, I decided, you know what, I'm spending too much money and I'm wasting it. Just,
Yeah.
so I thought who cares? Just do it, because if you can't please everyone, you cannot please everyone. So some people will really like what you did, and some people will say, yeah, it's okay, but who cares? You did it.
Are you your own broker or are you with EXP?
I'm my own broker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I opened my own office during the pandemic because I figured I'm gonna derail from all of this stuff. I'm just gonna, step on the side and do my own thing and not follow the, everyone saying the market's gonna crash again and all this stuff. So I derailed from all that and I opened my own broker office.
Bernadette, it's not gonna crush the market. And I just
Yeah, I
read
know.
an article that
Yeah.
you know how a lot of people is in forbearance right now, right?
Right.
And I think they have another extension until, I don't remember if it's June or September. So banks, it's very expensive for them to foreclose. So they're going to add what they owe to the end of the loan,
Right.
and they're gonna reduce the interest rate. So that's the only way for them to continue, for the people to continue in their homes. And on the other end, so prices will continue to increase.
Yeah.
And I think the market is going to change. Right now, it's just in the process that.
Oh, it's crazy. It's a crazy market right now.
So we have a lot of buyers, but it is a little hard to put them in escrow.
Yes.
And I did one, but in December. And luckily, right now, I have this listing that I'm closing. I'm the listing agent. So, and I received so many offers. I mean, it's crazy.
It is. Where are you from? Like,
I am from Mexico. I was born in Mexico.
oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
I've been here about 30 years since I got married. So this is my home, practically.
Right.
Practically.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah.
Heidi, where are you from? This is Maria. Sorry. I don't have my camera on yet. I'm just listening to you guys. I'm Maria. I'm just curious, like, where do you live in what city?
I live in Huntington Beach, California.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm in California too. I was going to tell you that I heard you talking about how it's hard to do video. I kind of came in at the end, and I wanted to tell you that I had the same problem. And then, where it's just like, I was scared to do it, or scared to put it out there, or scared what people were going to say. And I even thought, oh my gosh, if I moved to a totally new city, it would be so much easier. Like if I didn't know anybody, it'd be so much easier to put these videos out, because now I'm putting videos out in a community where I already know a good amount of people.
What community are you? Where are you?
I'm in Livermore, in Northern California,
Oh, okay. What's
like the Bay Area.
Oh,
Livermore.
oh, okay.
But I was
Oh,
going to tell you that I wish that I spoke. I'm assuming you speak Spanish, and
mhm.
I wish that I did, because I think that would be what I would put out there, because I get a lot of calls from people who immediately ask me if I speak Spanish, and I have to say no. And lucky for me, my mom lives with me, and she speaks Spanish, so she becomes my assistant. So I use her as a translator when people call me.
That's wonderful. That's good. At least you have somebody to translate for you.
Yeah, I was like, Mom, I need you. I
Oh,
need
that's,
my
that's
assistant.
awesome. At least you have a partner to,
Yeah.
work. I'm by myself. I have a friend, but she is in another office, and we do a lot of things together. We go seminars here and there, but it's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah. But
But
I just think there must be such a need in a community of speaking other languages,
yes.
because if they're calling me asking, just sort of randomly calling and asking me if I speak Spanish, it must be because they're searching for that person. So I keep thinking, gosh, if I could speak Spanish and put it out there on video, that would be a whole other niche of people to communicate with. So I just want to put that out there, that I think is a really good idea, if you speak another language, to put it out there in that other language,
Oh,
whatever language that is, because when you do the ads, I think on the ads on Facebook, you can pick what language you're targeting. So only people who speak that language end up getting it. Is that right?
That's
Do
true.
I have that right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Can I jump in and ask a question?
Yes.
sure.
My Facebook has been hacked. And I noticed it was hacked about a year ago through another coaching company. And I was refunded the $2,000 that was taken out of my account. So I'm tooling along. I didn't put another credit card on. And about a couple months ago, I noticed that I have a balance of $530 and for ads that I don't recognize. So I've been trying to work through Facebook, and I finally got kicked to the risk management specialist. Yesterday, I found all kinds of fraudulent documentation, sent that, and they're basically saying, well, this is over 180 days, so we can't refund you. I'm not asking for a refund. I'm asking for it to be deleted from my account. And I don't know. I mean, I just spent the last hour searching who I should contact. Do I contact the FBI? Then another person said, forget it. This is chicken, this is chicken stuff. Nobody from the FBI is going to help you. I just don't know what to do at this point. Do I delete my whole account, my whole business? Do I have to start all over? I have 5,000 followers.
Ooh.
Do you have any suggestions?
So I'm a little confused. What do you want deleted?
Somebody kept running ads, which I wasn't aware of because I never got a bill or anything. My credit card isn't on there, but they were running the ads under my account.
So go delete the ads.
The account has been disabled, but I can't move forward. They won't let me verify my business. They won't let me run any other ads, even on a different account.
I would go to office hours.
Yeah, that's what Mike said.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that. But, in the meantime, the last hour I've been researching and I'm wondering, is there any government agency that can help step in? I mean, this is ridiculous.
I doubt it over. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't let it get you down. I would do it. I would go to office hours and see if they can help you.
Mm-hmm.
And just going with the program.
And there is a live chat that Kendra had told us about originally. Do you remember how to get to that at all, Alicia?
A live chat with Facebook?
There's a live chat with Facebook, but I never could get it, but I don't remember where it's happened. You know, the new folks we have, Nick and Sativa and all those guys, maybe they know how to do that.
Okay.
The live chat.
There's also somewhere in Facebook, there's a one-on-one help with advertising. Like if you don't know how to do your own ads, because I remember I did it once a while back and I signed up for a one-on-one time where you actually get a live person who will help you run ads on your account. Maybe if you can get into one of those one-on-one trainings with Facebook marketing department, they can help you.
Yeah, Alicia just posted some contact help right there. Maria.
So Leslie has had positive results with this link. I just had to look it up. She sent it to me via email because I had some problems, but yeah, I mean, I would do, Marie, I'm just cautioning you, try not to get sucked into that that happens to me when my account gets disabled. I like kind of, lose my mind
I'm
a little
freaking
bit.
out.
I know. So just like take a breath, and I can't imagine it can't get fixed. So, but I would just keep moving along and try not to, visualize it getting fixed.
Okay. All
As
right.
she published me through the Zoom call. But
Okay.
I'm just trying to keep you. I get totally wigged on stuff like that.
Well, it's interesting because I spent 3 hours yesterday going through everything. And this teeny little thing, and then it opened up the whole Pandora's box. They have it running forever and updating every 30 minutes and no budget. So, Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So Alicia, sorry, I was trying to, I'm logged in to this Zoom call from my phone, but I really want to get on from my computer, but the link doesn't seem to be working for my computer. So does somebody have to approve people coming in?
No. So what you need to do is make sure you're, did you click the same link?
Yeah, I'm gonna try another one.
The
that I
best
see
way,
here.
the best way to do it is to go to the Elite page, click
Yeah, that's where I
announcements, go to the
Oh,
announcements, scroll down, and it'll say Thursday call, because they change it sometimes.
Yeah, I just tried it from the Elite group like 5 times and it did not work. Let me see. Thursday call. I'm trying it again right now.
That's how I got
Oh.
in just now, so I'm not sure. Why it wouldn't
Gosh,
work.
maybe it is working now. Maybe it's me.
Maria, you sure you're hitting Thursday? Because I hit Tuesday all the time.
Yeah, okay, I got in. Yay, thank you. It's always like that. If I have a problem with something and then I tell somebody else, suddenly I solve the problem or the problem gets solved.
That
Bada
happens
bing.
all the time.
Same with
Anybody
when
else
I
have any
lose something.
questions? Krista should be jumping on anytime.
Now, Maria, you got to put your camera on.
So is this for Mastery and Elite?
Yes.
Okay, good, thanks.
So I am seeing a lot of people that are not, even in my market as well, they're not doing any marketing really for their listings or for themselves. And I think that even though it's hot out there, we all have to be doing everything we always do, because as the market changes, and it is starting to change a little bit here, like we're getting more listings. As the market changes, you want to be the one they call because of your marketing. And if you haven't done any, or you're not doing videos, I mean, I don't know if they need to be done on every single one if you're getting quite a few listings, but if we're not doing those things that we're being trained in this program to do, when the market shifts, then people don't know that you do something different. And so I think it's really important that you still are sending just listed and just solds and farming your areas and doing video and all those things.
I have a question for you, Alicia, or for anybody that wants to chime in. I'm seriously considering gently telling my FHA and VA buyers that I can't help them right now for the interest of time and honesty. But at the same time, it's kind of crazy to think that I'm going to turn down a buyer, right? So, but how do you handle that time management, because nothing is happening with them and they are sucking my time?
How clear are you with your expectations in your consultation? Like when you're coming up with when you're talking to a buyer, how clear are you in the very beginning about what they need to do?
I'm more than clear.
So do you ask them like to really come up with their why as to why they have to buy right now?
I mean, I don't ask them why, but I am very clear. But the problem is with FHA is that we can't go over, because of appraisal. And so even though they're willing even to put as much down as possible, we're not getting them.
You can go over.
Is there a reason why they don't want to go conventional?
Because they don't qualify. They don't have a down payment.
So what, they can still go over though. They just have to pay it.
Yeah, you can go over in an FHA.
Well, they
So,
have the
actually,
pay, I mean,
a quick question on that. So you can actually maybe give them a little bit more hope and talk about, so if you allow them to fail a few times, right? Because they're going to, and then hook them up with a credit repair guy after their first failure. Could you have that conversation and then explain that, hey, listen, we can put you over from FHA to a conventional. There's a guy that is over in, it's in Washington. He's over in Kirkland, and he does international credit repair. He has gotten my client from an FHA to a conventional in like 45 to 90 days. And then you're like at least like feeding them hope and then giving them possibility. That's what I've been doing, and that's been really helping a lot.
And sweeten every other term, like any other term that you can sweeten up, you can do that.
What was that again?
Terms, sweeten up the terms if you can.
Yeah,
and try
like
to,
if you can shorten certain contingency periods, if you can have the buyer pay for the seller's closing costs, or don't ask for a warranty, make the buyer pay for it. Those kind of things. Any other term of the contract, try to make it as sweet as possible if they're FHA.
Yeah.
I mean, I just had some FHA with down payment assistance buyers get into contract. I mean, they had down payment assistance. They have great credit. They just didn't want to make a down payment. So I was really clear with them. I was like, listen, if you have cash, like just tell me how much cash you have to work with here, and I'll help you figure out how to structure the offer. So, because usually even with FHA or VA, they've got cash. It's just a matter of how much do they have. And your job then would be to like figure out within your market, how can you use that cash to their advantage?
So
because
I guess I am not aware. So with FHA, if it doesn't appraise at sales value, they can bring the difference.
Yeah, they can bring the difference on any financing will let you do that. They're just not going to finance more than that. So if they have cash that they're willing to bring in to pay over the appraised price,
Right.
I mean, that's like what they're going to have to do right now.
You just
You can also,
you have to wait though, like, because if it is an FHA buyer or a VA buyer and you're using the cash difference, you still have to make sure they have that reserves amount.
Right.
And that's sometimes where it's getting people. They're like, well, I have all this. We're like, well, they're not gonna let you spend all your money. You got to have that reserves too.
Right.
So
So
it's that fine balance.
Yeah, so I would make sure like you're really like have a consultation with the lender as well. Like if it's not your lender, make sure you get right in tune with their lender. I call my lender before I write any offer for an FHA or VA buyer every single time.
Also, you can release the deposit once contingencies are removed. That's something else that's favorable.
I think, yeah, so you can, there's wind, Debbie. So she's saying you can release the deposit to the seller after contingencies are removed. I've been calling the lender as well. And I just do so much over that the buyer is willing to pay so much over the appraised price.
Yeah.
If it doesn't appraise. And the other thing, I'm going to get some hate for this, but if I have a buyer who I have not, and it's not as bad for me as it is for a lot of you. I've been taking a little less commission. So if they're offering 3, then I go to 2 or 2.5, because I think that buyer they're indebted to me. And they're a raving fan, and they're going to use their mouth to get me that 0.5%.
last thing I'm gonna add in there as well also is if you can get your lender to fully approve them also is a big thing too, because I have an FHA buyer right now and we're in the $700,000 range, and we just have the we just fully approved them, got them underwritten, approved, and that helps as well. It makes them a lot stronger and makes them no different than conventional is. how I
Yeah.
explain it to them. So
We had that
Yeah,
too. We had
I guess I'm just
one of my
losing a little
sellers.
bit of hope because there's so much work and get beat out with cash and it's just so hard.
Isabel, I've heard you now on a couple of calls though, talk about your time management issue and you seem stressed about it. So have you thought about referring those to other realtors that are willing to put in that time and have that time?
Yeah, that's an idea.
And then you can get a referral fee. So because you've been talking about your time management and you just don't have the time. And so, I mean, all of these things are great, but if you're not in it, then it's really failure to you and the buyer, because you have to be 100% willing to do these really tedious things in this market right now. So maybe referring it to a hungry agent that really needs some clients. I mean,
Isabel.
If I can share something as well. So I have a client right now that is in the same boat. He needed closing cost assistance, FHA. So I got him fully underwritten. And I have another client that I've been working with for 2 years that trying to get him to save up money, fix his credit. And I have agents all the time that say to me, why are you wasting your money on or your time on them? You know, he's taken 2 years, they may never be able to buy. So this is just kind of a reminder, and it was a humbling reminder for myself. I got a call 2 days ago. He just hit the lottery and won $5 million. Oh my God. So now he's not just buying, scraping. I mean, I could barely get him a $180,000 house, which is like a closet around here. You know, it's just, it's a crappy house for that in my market. And now he's buying 5 decent houses. You know, from
If
me.
that's
So-
awesome. Get out of your
just,
own head.
You know, again,
I
just
don't
like
know.
that humbling, you know, it made me feel good that this is why I stick in it, you know.
That's awesome.
Isabel.
Cardone, and he basically was talking about the undercover billionaire, and he was saying how people, he was like, he looked, you know, bad, and he didn't have, they changed his looks so no one knew who he was. And he said, I was meeting people and they were treating me like I was that person. He's like, and I was the person that like could write a check for $50 million and help their venture. So just remember, like, people before things. Now, that being said, if like one buyer is completely taking all of your time and you can't do something else, you've got to kind of weigh the cost. But like Alicia said, those people, and Julia, I mean, he won the lottery, right? Like, you never know who those people know, who they'll refer. It'll always pay off.
Isabel, I had a couple of thoughts to share with you about getting your offers accepted. So I just did this for a brand new agent from another company who has a lot of promise. So she came to me, I'm a listing agent. I mean, 95% of my 2,200 home sales are seller side. So in this market, you know, I know you're always sifting through all these offers and such. So here's what I told her. I got some little notes here that I'll read real quick. Basically, she asked how to get her offers accepted. I said, well, first off, always call the listing agent early on, find out everything that's important to sellers, because obviously that changes with each transaction. And I said, then serve that up to them as best you can on a silver platter. Find out the seller's time frame, price, preferred possession date, if they'd like a free rent back to stay in the house for 30 days after the closing. See if there's any concerns with accepting an offer. Like, some people, obviously it's all about price. Other people, it's more about making things convenient so they can transition into their next house. Shorten timeframes on all contingencies. Establish rapport with the listing agent and set yourself apart early on. For example, you do a video text about your buyer, since at least in California, we can't do the love letters anymore. They just did away with that. Carr did. What else? Let's see. Follow up at the appropriate times and don't drive the listing agent crazy like every other buyer agent does. Give them supreme confidence that you're going to be able to, perform. What I also recommended is that any listing agents that she's previously worked with where everything went great, get a customer review from them or a testimonial from them. Also, hit some bullet points like, my buyers are well counseled. They're not going to ask for the sun, the moon, and the stars on inspections. We've gone through all of this. And just, put your best foot forward. And I told her that's what I do because I'm a listing agent. So when I have offers, like the last 8 buyers that came by way of referral this year, I basically got all 8 offers accepted out of 8. I mean, 8 out of 8 in massive competition here. So there's that. And then secondarily, you touched upon something early, and I'll leave it at this, just having to do with the timing of things. Like in my case, I love helping home buyers, especially first-time buyers. But on the other hand, I mean, I'm putting in 65 plus hours a week, And a lot of times these buyers want to look at properties on weekends or during gridlock traffic. And frankly, I'm just not willing to do that. And I'm very honest with them up front. I mean, on day one, I'm transparent. I tell them, if you work within my timeframes, I'll show you houses all you want. I just want to make sure that you treat our relationship like you do your CPA, your attorney, any of these people. They have business hours. You see them at their place of business when it's convenient for them and for you. It's not like I'm an Uber agent where I'm just running around like crazy, dropping my world for them. So I share that with them. And then lastly, what I've done most recently is I got a showing agent. And I know our market prices here are a little higher, so you'd have to scale this back just depending on what your market is like in the pricing. So for example, I have them open door number one. First of all, they coordinate, all of the showings and get everything set up. They help with the peds and so forth. And then when they open the door, the first house, if they show one house, I give them $100. And then for every extra door or additional door they open on that day for that showing appointment, I give them $25 per door. Then when the escrow closes, I give them a 10% referral fee. And so far, so good. It's been working out great, although we've only done a couple. So anyway, that's a lot to say.
John, what's your price range?
Price range here is average for me right now, gosh, probably 750, 800, right in there.
All the tips that he just said. So here's the deal. We all know this, but are you doing it all? Right? Are you doing it all? Like they're all such fabulous tips, but every single thing he said, you should all be doing right now if you have buyers. And no, don't just get pre-approval, get TBD, get TBD approval, and make sure your lender also calls and says, we have TBD approval, it's done. All we need is a house. There is nothing that can go wrong. We can close, blah, blah, blah. And if you have TBD approval, you can feel confident removing your contingencies, right? You can feel confident removing your contingencies. So anyways, keep going. This is a great discussion. We'll just keep it up.
Hey, Krista, can I add the flip side of the listing agent's point of view on that?
Yeah.
Okay. As listing agents, if we can get those questions answered, when can the seller give possession? What is the seller looking for? Because on the flip side of everything he says, sounds great. But what if we have 50 agents calling us at the same time, asking all those questions, pausing and not doing offers? As a listing agent, we should be providing as much information in the MLS to answer those questions so that we aren't constantly fielding calls from other agents, because sometimes it's impossible. I mean, I had 104 showings on one listing in 48 hours. How can I talk to all those agents and answer all those questions? So
Cassie, what if you created
in the beginning?
Sorry.
Sorry.
What if you created a Q&A for the agents, like a one-time Word document?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying to do as agents. Our responsibility is to not wait for the other agents to ask us these questions, is to be forward thinking. Are the disclosures in there? Do you have the survey? When does the seller need to be out? Does the seller want to pay title policy? Does the seller, you could answer all these questions in the beginning without price setting, but also without fielding questions from agents all day long, because it is overwhelming on the other side of that. Just my 2 cents.
What I'll do is I'll have a form made and make it available to you that basically is a step for sellers that will put all that together. And then also what I can do is I'll figure out how to make it to where a buyer can reverse engineer it to like whatever you want, kind of use it on both ways. I'll get that to you guys within the next week.
Yeah, I had a listing more recently where I put the offer kind of instructions or suggestions in the MLS. And when offers came in that did not meet the suggestions, my sellers immediately marked them out, because they were like, you already told them what we want. They didn't listen or they didn't read. So we don't even want to look at their offer. So I'll say, from the listing agent standpoint, if your directions are in there, and buyer's agents, if you're not following those directions, those are all things we kind of have to be partners with each other on in this crazy market, is we have to help make each other's lives easier, because it's hard. So
let me just say one more thing too, as a listing agent. Okay. I'm a listing agent too. We do 99% listings. I haven't worked with a buyer in years, but as a listing agent in a busy market, you don't know if it's always going to be busy. So we all know those a-hole agents that's they never answer their phone. They're totally rude to work with. That's not okay. So this is your profession. It's your job. It's your fiduciary obligation to not only treat your agents, your sellers and buyers correct, but also other agents, because that's why it's called, it's reciprocal relationship, right? And so you don't want to be known as that agent for any reason that doesn't respect, doesn't answer their phone, doesn't ask questions, and is an a-hole. because the market will turn. It will turn. I guarantee it. You know, and we've all been there. I sold 169 houses and there was no other agent but me. And let me tell you, the market was insane. And I answered my phone every single time. I talked to every single agent. I gave them respect. And I'll tell you, one time I remember this. I was in the car with my husband and I was a little short with an agent. And I hung the phone up because I was just like, it's like, I remember those days when I'd be on the phone for 10 minutes with an agent and I'd hang up and I'd have literally 10 voice messages. And I'm not exaggerating. And my husband looked at me and he goes, babe, he goes, those people are trying to make a living too. And I was like, oh God, was I just an a-hole? He's like, a little bit. He's like, you were a little short. And I'm like, oh God. And it just made me realize like, I'm being an a-hole. I'm busy, but I should be blessed to be busy. A lot of these people are struggling. They don't make the kind of money that we do. They're not right. They're having a hard time. So we've got to remember that and give them some grace and give them some love. So if you're too busy to be answering your phone, then give your damn listings away. If you're too busy, I mean, truth be told, right? I love everybody, but that's the truth. I'm going to get some hands that are up here. Tracy, and Tracy's hands been up forever. So.
Hi, I just have a question. I have a potential listing coming up and the seller doesn't want to do any staging and there's nothing inside the house because he just moved in 1 year ago. He's a senior, it's a multi-level, so he want to sell it, exchange to another house. So how effective do you guys think with the virtual staging?
Krista, right now, if you stick, honestly, you can answer. If you stick lipstick on, everything is selling right now, like for top dollar. You know, virtual staging is great, and it'll make your marketing look better. So for your marketing purposes, I would do it absolutely. And all of you should be doing like your marketing, even though everything's selling quickly. We still do full blown marketing on everything because it's my fiduciary obligation, but I'm also marketing myself. So we never let the homes sell right now without doing full blown. We do our partial staging or full blown. Everything, the drone photography, the videography, night footage, day footage, we are going full bore for a reason because I'm also marketing myself.
Krista, I remember when I started the program, it was like the second coaching call the second coaching call. And Krista had said that she had her own furniture. So, and I had a house that wasn't selling. So I went out and started buying furniture and I keep it in a building. I stage everything still, because I think it looks better. I think it looks better for the video and the pictures. And when people walk in and then people can sit down and have a discussion about the offer or whatever. And so I would encourage everyone, if you have a little space, because actually when the market does turn, we do need to stage stuff because sometimes we need to prove that you can put a full size couch in a living room. So that's something.
Might not be able to full stage, but you could even go to, so what I did originally was I went to Home Goods and I bought like napkins and tchotchkes and towels and little things and like a little table that I could put something on. That's how I started. And then we just would reuse it. And then we added tables and chairs and all that stuff. Now we just hire a stager and she uses my stuff. But if you can't afford to do that, everyone, anybody could afford $200 and it will go a long way from Home Goods to be, they have these $20 canvas pictures that are huge that you put up. You buy a cheapy little table and you put a pretty flower on it. That makes a huge difference in listings, a huge difference. And then when you meet with someone, they go, oh, your listings always look so good. And I say, no, they don't. We make them look that way. None of them look like that. We make them look that way. That's why you hire me. Right? Debbie.
Back to the offers and listing agent responsibilities and stuff. One of the things that got one of my buyers' offers accepted was the listing agent was like, okay, we had 3 offers that were exactly the same. All the terms were exactly the same because they multiple countered it that way. She goes, so we didn't know how to choose. And she goes, I like the way you followed up. You weren't pushy, but you still wanted the information. And she said, so we picked the offer because of you. It wasn't because yes, the offer was great, but if there's multiple offers and they're all pretty much the same, what's the next criteria they're going to go to? Do they have an agent that's going to be easy to work with? And then even during the process, she didn't have smoke detectors in the house. I ran to Home Depot and got them, and she Venmoed me the money and was so appreciative. I mean, we're both working for the same goal. There's no reason to go, oh, that's your responsibility. You're the listing agent, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you could, but then that puts that bad karma out there. So just go get them because it's for your buyer too. little things like that go a long way with people. And maybe that one won't appreciate it, but someone will, and it'll bring the positive back to you.
You know what I just thought of when you saying that, Debbie? This was a good idea. So when you're going to a house, all right, as a buyer's agent, let's just say you notice they don't have carbon monoxide detectors, or let's just say you notice something like go and buy two carbon monoxide detectors for $100 and submit that with your offer. Hey, just want to let you know, this is the type of agent you can expect when you work with me. Don't buy them a bottle of wine. Look in that home for something that might make a difference, whether it be maybe they're missing the plug thingies on the plug that they know that somebody will call. Look for things that could go wrong, because in a multiple offer situation, those kind of things are what will help you go over. And what we do, anytime there's a multiple counter offer situation, if my buyers can, I always up it. So I'll give them more. It's an extra $3,000. We're removing this. I'll do more on it. So that's what I would recommend.
Yeah, all those little inconveniences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. That's great. And remember, guys, we have an no a-hole policy. As busy as you are or aren't, karma will come around. We literally have a blacklist in our office of like a-hole agents. And when the sellers ask me, I'm like, we've had not the best experience, or we've had a great experience. Like when I have worked with somebody that even when it's a bad deal or there was problems, when they handled it professionally and with respect, you remember that, right? So just, gosh, it's so important to just be that agent, even when it's hard and you're busy. If you're too busy, get an assistant, right? Get an assistant to help you so you can still be that good person.
Krista, take me off the list, please.
You're our one we like.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm with you with that. I'll just say initials, TC, horrible. You worked with her, TC, horrible. I'll never work there with that lady if I can. I know, but that's good because she was awful.
Yeah, she hasn't been in the business like 10 years.
Yeah, so, all right.
You are so funny, Newberry. Maria, and then Iris.
Just a question about the staging part, because it's something I've been wondering. Does the seller pay anything for staging or nothing? Because the last time I did staging, it was like $3,500 is what it ended up costing me. So I keep thinking, gosh, that's really hard to.
Maria, how much is the house? So
it was $1.6 million.
Oh my God, you should be paying $10,000 for staging.
Right. Well, no, it's a tiny house. I mean, this is,
Yeah, so I mean, for $1 million home, everyone should be staging, and $3,500 is nothing for $1 million home.
I guess I've just been worried about or like putting it out there in advertising or in print, like staging included, because I thought, what if it's
you can do like, you can do something like like a little asterisk that's like, what's that disclaimer everyone does? You have the right to, whatever applies, right?
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so what we do, we have certain price ranges for our staging right now where it's like, okay, up to 500,000, we'll pay, 2,500 or whatever it is. And up to $1 million, we'll pay $5,000 or whatever. I have no problem getting a commission and paying $5,000 because it makes me look good. Like we do all the things. And I'm telling you, our average price point in Brentwood is $750. My average price right now is between $900 and $1 million plus. Like we're just getting $1 million listings left and right. It's because of all these little things. I don't mind spending money to make a lot more because it makes me look good too.
So do you advertise in your marketing stuff that for the listing appointment that you cover all that?
It depends. It depends upon if they're interviewing anybody else. It depends on just a lot of things. I don't have any it's always set this way, but we like to stage. So I have an agreement with the stager that I pay her $2,500. So it's like here's she knows I sell a lot of houses, so it's like it's $2,500. She goes above and beyond, and then I have a huge garage, like a 3-car garage full of a bunch of staging stuff. I've probably spent around $15,000 on all that stuff, but I mean, I've had it for 5 years. I reuse it, and it's awesome. It's really, really helped us.
Okay. I thought about redecorating and then just pulling stuff out of my own house.
Yeah, honestly, that's what you start. You start with your own. Okay, so let me give you an example. Tiffany Stock, one of my students she's in Danville. When she met me, she was working as a listing agent underneath somebody else. She was making under $100,000 a year. Now it's been 3 years. She's the #1 agent in her office. She does not have a team. She makes over $1 million a year. And now she stages all of her own properties. She goes to garage sales, she repaints stuff. She bought a limo to drive her people around in. Tiffany Stock, go look her up. She is the #1 KW agent, and the teams of 5 and 6 she's like 3 million a month under overproduction of those people. It's all because of all the little things that she was willing to do. All those little things add up. The little things add up like crazy.
And you also mentioned earlier that we should have a TBD or a TVD, and a bunch of people commented they didn't know what it was. I don't know what it is.
It's okay. TBD is to be determined. It's a T, B as in boy, D as in dog approval. It's different than pre-approval. It's that you've gone under the full underwritten process. The only thing you need is that to find a home and to have the home appraised. Right, so it's to be determined.
So is that like you're saying that that's a letter you get from the mortgage company to submit with your offer?
Only certain banks do it. So not every banks will do a TBD. Only certain banks and lenders will. But if you can find a lender that does just like TBD, which means they put you all the way through everything from all the way to the very end, the only thing that you need to do is find a house, and that will go very, very far.
Is that like the already pre-underwritten?
Yeah, it's pre-underwritten. They've done everything. Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right, thanks.
To be determined, TBD approval. Glenn.
Yeah, I was just going to comment on the FHA buyers. One of the things that I found, I sold 2 houses to buyers last year. I found ugly homes that were overpriced and went back. The sellers had multiple offers. And then you go in there, if you have any construction knowledge, to be able to solve their problems with the houses, and also possibly renovation financing. So I sold 2, FHA buyers that type of property last year.
Oh, good.
Our market's moving so fast. There's no way to compete with FHA with the big down payment people here. So
yeah, it's crazy. It's like everywhere right now. Christine, and then Angela. We can't hear you.
That's better. All right. It was something that it was something that I had heard in one of the modules or on one of the training tapes or something. And it was giving the buy, you list a property and you're giving all the other agents 5 days, blank. And I don't remember what those 5 days were. It's like, it was another way of saying that you were going to do highest and best in 5 days.
So how we do it, and this is just how we do it, is that on every time we list a house with multiple offers, we let everyone know that we're going to be accepting highest and best on a certain time after the house has been on the market, usually 5 to 7 days. Okay.
Okay.
Then once we get highest and best, then we meet with the seller and then we counter the highest and best offers. Okay. So when all the offers come in, I say, okay, Mr. and Mrs. We call the other agents and we say, we've got 9 offers right now. So now that we have 9 offers, give me your highest and best. So before we even meet with the seller, we've already had them sign a multiple counter offer requesting highest and best. Then we go back to the seller with all of the highest and best, and then we counter the highest and best. So it's a multiple counter.
Wow. And then, but don't you worry about the appraisal?
Well, our goal is to get them to remove the appraisal contingency. So let me explain what's happening right now. When I talked to my broker and about, I know I said this before, but it's really, really important. I had a meeting with my team. So there's a lot of lawsuits going on right now in litigation because we've always done this thing for years and years where we will say, buyer agrees to pay, $25,000 over appraised value or whatever it might be. The problem is that if the home comes, let's just say, I'm just using easy numbers. Let's just say the home appraises at you're in contract at $500,000.
Right.
And the buyer agrees to pay $25,000 over the appraised value, not to exceed the purchase price of $500,000. If the house comes in at $450,000, the seller did not put a cap on what he would take. The buyer agreed to pay $25,000 over. The seller agreed. That means you guys are in escrow at $475,000. So you have to protect the seller. You have to now say that buyer agrees to pay $25,000 over appraised value. However, seller is not obligated to take the home if it does not appraise under a certain amount. Does that make sense? You have to put a cap
Yes.
and a ceiling. There needs to be a ceiling for the seller, a ceiling for the buyer. There can't just be one for one because both agreed to pay 25,000 under. So if the seller, we just experienced this right now on Pebble Beach Drive in Brentwood. Okay, this exact thing happened to us, and I don't usually talk to sellers. I got on the call when I was in Cabo with a seller because I wanted to make sure he understood. Like the buyer would not budge when we tried to say seller does not have to take less than 900,000. The buyer wouldn't agree. The buyer agreed to pay $50,000 above appraised value. And so I said, listen, I would be shocked if the house did not appraise at 850, like shocked. But I've seen stuff happen. I've seen crazy things happen, right? So if the house appraises for 830, you're only going to get 870 or 880, right? You're not going to get the 900. So you have to make sure you understand both. And so that was never an issue before, but now that this market is like this, the buyers are questioning, and the attorney, my broker told me that every call that she's had, like the past month, has all been on this issue. So be careful.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, all of us. Angela and then Diane. And anybody else, just pop in. I just see the hands up. So the hands aren't up, just chime in.
My question is going back on the staging, because that's something that I was kind of interested in doing. So I do have a question. So when you stage, are you, well, I guess twofold. Are you A, removing their furniture and adding furniture? And then B, are you like staging the whole house or just like certain parts of it?
So we can all answer this, but again, every house is different, right? So in most cases, we take their furniture and we move it around, move stuff in the garage and bring the nice stuff in. The main rooms that we always like to do is the family room, living room, dining room, kitchen, master bedroom. And then if there's blank bedrooms, we'll just put like a picture or two up and like maybe a table with a flower, something like that. You'd be amazed at what those kind of things can do. And just like towels and in a bathroom, it makes a huge difference. And it's so.
Krista.
Hi, bro.
Hey, and you might want to just think about stating if you can get a stager to give you, I call it a consult. So we just say, it's part of our services. We give you a consult, even if the house is perfect, we still have the consult, our stager come in and give the consult, and they feel they're getting value. So you're just giving them value. And sometimes they tell them to move couches and chairs around and we use their stuff. And then other times she'll bring in stuff and charge us half price and stuff. So, I mean, it's just all giving the seller like value.
Are you looking to transform your business? Well, if the answer is yes, then you don't want to miss out on our intensive event starting soon for only $97. This event is jam-packed, full days of live coaching with me. We have breakout sessions to customize and implement our daily trainings so that you can actually utilize them into your business. We're going to give you the training to craft your personal strategy to convert your leads into long-term clients. So let's go. What are you waiting for? Register now. Can't wait to see you there, and let's transform your business.
Josh is my brother and my business partner. So he's telling you, we pay somebody $35 an hour, and every single person gets a stager that comes in, regardless if the house is awesome, because they feel like they want it. Even though it's a perfect house, we're like, oh, it's perfect, but we have Pauline just in case there's any things we can do. And they just feel like, okay, I'm getting full service, Good, Josh. Diane.
Hi, good morning. So I heard you say a couple of minutes ago about, even though we're in a crazy market and things are selling in a day, we still need to do everything. So I have a multi-part question on just listed and just sold. So I have a team of agents who are spread across probably a 30-mile area. So on the farming part of this, on just listed and just sold, and even though the price ranges can be, a $150,000 listing versus a $500,000 listing, do you still send just listed and just sold to the regular farming area, or just the area where, it could be 20 miles away from your regular farming area?
So we do it to the actual house, just listed and just sold. And then we stick it in our multiple just listed and just sold. I'll show you a brochure that we're sending out that goes to our farm, because I want the same people at the same time to see that I'm doing business and that we're doing a lot of it. And so we have all of our listings in it. I'll show you really quickly.
So it doesn't matter. I shouldn't get overly concerned about the value. And then while you're looking for that, I was watching the location domination, and I was looking at the brochures that you had developed, and I like the ones where, you know, you have a different back copy every time. So do you have somebody creating those for you, or do you have your team just doing them all on Canva?
So we have our Pepper, what Pepper did. Bad girl.
Oh boy.
How did you do that? I didn't even see. Okay, she acts like, oh, are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? You're so funny. So it's my assistant. So my assistant changes the background on all of them based upon like what's happening. And people like to save those cards. Like we've seen those cards on people's, like they've used them on their car as like a sun shield. We've seen people in the car like using it as a fan. We've gone into listing appointments and they have them on their fridge because it's like the school score, or it's like the Giants and the A's school, you know, schedules. And we put cool things on the back that'll make them want to keep it. You guys, I can't find that brochure because we
No, that's fine. I saw them in location domination, and you had a bunch of different ones. I just didn't know if you had a template that you were following, if it was your assistant that was doing them all, if you were using Canva, if
Canva.
Okay.
All done in Canva.
And then if we have, because we hadn't been keeping up with our just listed and just sold, would you ever recommend going back and doing some of the prior sales that were within the last couple of months?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Okay.
And I'll tell you guys the truth. We stopped doing our brochures for a while. I didn't realize they weren't getting done. And I noticed a difference too in our sales. It makes a big difference. And I'm like, we're relentless now on doing those 4-page brochures because we just got so much out of it. You know, it's a lot of work. I mean, you got to make them, and although we have that, you know, it's in the program, you guys could use it, but you know, printing them out and doing all that. We've done a few things to make it easier. Like now we're having them bundled in series of 100. I think I paid $45 extra to have them in, you know, bundled in 100, but we're ordering 15,000. I'm doing 15,000 a month of those.
Can those be mailed EDDM, Krista?
Yep, every door direct.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you always include the address of the home on the actual brochure itself.
On the homes we've sold?
On the just listed and just sold, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll do things like, you know, you'll see in there, like if we got 85,000 over asking, we'll put like 85,000 over asking. We'll put a big bullet on there so that they can see that, which is really, really good. It's all about being consistent though, guys. It's like, if you're going to, don't do it if you don't have the budget. So whether it's 100 homes or 1,000 or 10,000, make sure you've got enough budget to do it for, you know, a good year, because it takes sometimes the momentum of it. Remember, people usually start thinking about selling 3 to 6 months, sometimes a year. So, you know, what you're doing 6 months ago, you're going to see in 6 months. And then if you stay doing it, it's like the momentum from it will happen and you won't have the highs and lows. But what most people do is they get busy and they stop doing the things that got them busy. For example, the marketing of the homes, right? Like all of you, you're crazy if you're not. I don't care if homes are selling in 2 days. They're selling in 2 days in our area too, with like 15 offers. We're still doing everything. And I position the seller in a manner that I say, Josh does now at me, but he says, hey, listen, it's to your advantage to get this. We want to get you the most money for the, you know, the best terms. Spending an extra week is not going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you if you don't, right? And then it helps me. I don't care if I'm spending an extra $3,000 in marketing. I know that $3,000 in marketing is going to turn into, you know, 30,000 more of listings because of the way I'm getting the properties out there.
So do you have those templates anywhere that we can review or utilize?
I'll have to ask Jay. I don't want to promise that we have all of them. I mean, we've got, as you saw, hundreds of backs. I don't know if they've ever saved all those, but I could find out.
No, and that's fine. As long as I have 1 or 2 that I can just start playing off of.
Yeah.
Alrighty, thank you.
You're welcome. Debbie. And you guys see Cassie, like she's shaking her head, Alicia's shaking her head. These are top producers that are doing a lot of business that have adopted the same philosophy. And that's why they're top producers, because it's like this is a part of what they do, right? All the little things matter. And I'll tell you what, I personally noticed when we're not doing all the little things, I can see it in both my companies, right? It's like, okay, what are we doing here? All the little things matter. And it's not always easy, but you got to do it, right? You got to do it.
Krista, real quick, something that always sticks to me when you said you're advertising for your next listing, not the listing you have right now, it's the next one. So that's why you're doing the staging. That's why you're doing it, because you're advertising to show the next person, this is what I did for this person. This is what I did. It doesn't matter, because you go to somebody and you say, I sold it in 2 days. They're like, well, my house sold itself then. What did you do in 2 days? My house sold itself, or the market sold itself. We have to show them we're actually selling their house and doing things to get them more money. And then we can show the next people that were using those strategies, how that got the other people more money. So,
and you're always in a job interview. Everything that you do is a representation of how you do business. So when you're doing this, you're on a job there.
8:30.
Cassie, thank you.
It didn't work.
Debbie is next.
Okay, good morning. How are you? So my question is, I have a house under contract and we had the appraisal done. And then first of all, the seller did not tell, the agent for the seller did not tell her sellers that we needed the utilities on. So the appraiser had to go back out. Now that he's gone back out, he's telling us that he cannot give us value. And so he called the lender and he told them that the seller agent did not have any comps, that so he didn't know where she got her number at to list her house. But due to this market, we were in a bidding war, so we went over. And so now they're asking us to pay an extra $200 for him to go back 3 years to do analysis and then give us a
the selling agent should pay for that. That's the selling agent should do that, because if they don't have an appraisal, again, guys, just to let you know, we're getting into, I'm not your broker, and so we can do this, but I have to be careful, because at this point now I'm putting myself in for litigation for as far as contractual and things like that. So but in most states, in most cases, that would be a seller issue. The seller needs, if the seller did not counter you, that the buyer needs to pay the difference of the appraised value and the purchase price, then that would be on the seller. But then you have to say, okay, how bad do I want this? But if that appraiser already can't do it, can you send, what we do is we send our appraisal, we do an appraisal rebuttal on our own. If we don't feel we can do it, we hire, as a buyer or a seller, either way, I've hired an appraiser that I trust, that I know knows the market, and I'll say, hey, and see if she's helped us. We've gotten $65,000 before from our appraisal rebuttal by doing that. But most of the time, I'll tell you the truth, out of all the times we've done it, and Josh can attest, we probably win an appraisal rebuttal 3 out of 10 times. We still try though.
Okay.
But it's $200, it's like.
I think that's highballing it. I think you're about 2, maybe 1.5.
Depends on who you're hiring, Newberry.
I'm like 60%, and I'm an appraiser, and I'm looking at these reports. I'm like, this appraisal is super flawed, and I write them up. And the appraisers, we have so much power now, they don't pay us any more money to change our reports. So they're like, and we're so busy, we're like, nope, sorry, next one, because there's no incentive as an appraiser to amend your report.
And plus, you guys have big egos, Don.
Yeah. And to answer the question before, I don't think it was a matter of value. I believe what they're asking for was a complex appraisal assignment. He had a lack of data, and because of the complexity of the assignment, he's asking for an increase in his appraisal fee. And that's because it's probably not the fact that the value, it's the fact that it's a complex assignment. He's going to have to go back in time and find comps, and therefore wants an increase in fee.
And that should be on the buyer then. If that's the case, Don's an appraiser too. So if that's the case, then the buyer should probably pay for that. It's like, how bad do you want the deal? You know what I mean? Iris, and then Felipe.
Hi, Krista.
Hi.
I have a question. Hi.
About the appraisal, can you repeat what you do when you have multiple offers? I'm in a situation right now and I just told them, wait until next Friday. I mean, it's day one, but everybody's getting upset, very desperate, So then could you repeat again how you'd handle this?
Yeah, so we do an offer deadline date. So for example, if a house goes on the market on, let's say, a Wednesday, we'll have the offer deadline be on Monday morning, because then it gives us the whole, as long as we know there's going to be multiple offers. So we have an offer deadline date of Monday morning at, let's just say 9 a.m. Monday morning at 9 a.m., we call all the realtors, call all the lenders. We just verify that they've done their due diligence. And then we let everyone know, okay, we've gotten 5 offers in. We don't meet with the seller yet. We let the seller know how many offers we have in. We've already had them, when we actually have them sign their listing agreement, they're signing a multiple counter offer as well. So then before we even meet with the sellers on those offers that we have, we ask for highest and best from all of the offers. We say, hey, Iris, just to let you know, we've got 17 offers in, give us your highest and best. And so then they have 24 hours to give us their highest and best. And then we meet with the seller with the highest and best of the highest and best. Does that make sense? And then we counter those. So we always, no matter what, counter more than one. We typically try to counter at least 3, because sometimes people are just like, they just won't do it. Like they won't do it. So we'll take the very best, highest offer we have, the best terms, and we counter the other offers that are also the best to that highest offer. And sometimes we'll even increase it or add to it.
Wow. And how do you handle the appraisal? I mean, if it appraises, or how do you handle that?
So the first thing that we like to do is that the buyer, no appraisal contingency. If nobody agrees to do that, we'll say buyer agrees to pay X above the appraised value, not to exceed the purchase price. However, buyer is not obligated, should the home not appraise, to accept that price, right?
And do you add that into the special provisions, or do you add an amendment on that?
We just put that right into the counter offer.
Okay.
Right on the counter offer. Also, something we put in every single offer, you guys, it's like automatically done each time, is that we have the buyer gives us the right to speak to the lender, and the lender agrees to give us any and all information that we request. And the reason we do that is because we've had lenders tell us, I don't have to talk to you. And we're like, okay. Oh, yeah, you do. The buyer gave me permission. So.
Hey, Krista, real quick, couple people are asking, what if everybody accepts? So you counter 3 people back and everybody says yes.
So then you just take the one you like the best, because they know it's a multiple counter. On a multiple counter, that means a multiple counter means that you're not guaranteed to get it. So if they all say, oh, we have that here.
Yeah.
We love that.
Giving somebody a counter, and then you can't counter multiple offers at the same time. Not in writing. You can't over the phone.
Yeah, ours is called it's actually a multiple counter. So you know that, and then what happens is that they would then say whether they accept it or reject it on the end.
Yep. Okay.
That stinks, Cassie. I mean, that's so powerful to be able to have multiple counter offers.
The way I handle it, same thing with Krista, get all the offers together, have the deadline. We can't do that. We can't start a deadline until we receive our second offer, because it's shopping contracts in Texas. You can't shop contracts. So you have to have it. But the day of it, we set that meeting at 5, and then I take the top 3, and that's when I call all those lenders, talk to everybody. That way, when I meet with them, but when I meet with the sellers, I'm ready to sign one offer I've already negotiated a lease. I've already negotiated. We just can't do that with multiple people, but that'd be cool if we could.
I wish we were doing this call on a Tuesday so that everybody was here. I feel like I'm going to tell everyone to watch this call, because everyone needs to watch this call.
Krista, that last thing, do you make sure they have the money in the bank account, the buyer? Let's say,
yes, we
or
whatever. Everything. We also have so look in the listing process. There's a questionnaire. It's a lender buyer questionnaire. We say, do you have DU approval? Have you made multiple offers? We check to make sure if they say that they're going to pay over the appraised value, we verify they have money to pay the down payment and the difference of what I think it will appraise. We check everything. We are relentless.
Krista, on the multiple counter, did you say that the top offer that you have, that you don't counter that one, you just counter the other ones to get it to that?
No, we counter everybody up to the highest offer and the best terms, and we change or modify anything else.
Thank you.
And we counter everybody to that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna chime in with that too. Like if you are in a multiple offer situation and you're getting that multiple counter, don't just accept it. Come back with a little bit more if you can. If you want to snag it, come back with more.
Yeah, we do every time. We come back with more if they can, right? It's like for like even if it's $5,000, who cares? $5,000's nothing in the whole. They're gonna make that up in the next month of the market going up.
Yeah,
you know, but $5,000 and it also shows that you're like these buyers are serious. They're not gonna mess around with me. You know what I mean? Felipe.
Hey, it's Philippe, actually.
I'm sorry, Felipe. I do it every time.
That's okay. Everyone does. So I just finished all my modules and I'm in my first 30 days of reach. And I did, so I'm switching gears a little bit about questions. So I did my first 6 ads and I have another one going tomorrow.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question, Philippe.
Yeah.
How long have you been in the program? I want everybody to listen to this right now. How long have you been in the program? I already know the answer. How long?
I started February 15th.
Okay, so 6 ads already running, and it's been 2 months. That he's hauling butt, he's implementing, he's doing. Remember me telling him a month ago, you're gonna kick butt in this program? Because he's doing it. He's not waiting, he's just going to town. Anyway, sorry, go ahead, Philippe.
Well, I feel like I love the program. I love the videos. I love the Whitley. I just signed up for Whitley. It's super, super easy. So I'm just kind of figuring like, what's the next thing that I should be focusing on? I'm just going to keep doing videos and just keep, by switch up the.
I would do the listing presentation for sure right now. The whole listing process, I go to that module because of the market that we're in. That's for sure what I do.
Okay. So not listing or not location domination?
No, I would do the listing for sure. 100% the listing, hands down. Because right now you want sellers and you want to be able to impress sellers, right? And I would make sure I follow the whole process, you know, from start to finish, drop off the marketing plan, do all of it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Good job. I think Sherry's next, and then Sherry, you're next.
Hi. So I don't have a question, but I just wanted to go back to the staging your own listings. I have a really good tip that we use because we stage all of our listings also. And we bring a roll of blue painter's tape, the safety tape so it doesn't pull off or damage anything. And what we do instead, because it's tough to tell sellers, hey, you got to declutter and get rid of all this stuff. So we totally reverse that. And we take a piece of blue painter's tape and we stick it on an item of furniture or decor, whatever it is that we want to use for the staging. And we say and so then their whole house has little blue sticky tapes, you know, depending, because it's tough to stage when it's seller occupied, but so we use it for that. But if they're going to move out and move somewhere else and we want to use some of their items because they're great and beautiful, we'll put a piece of blue sticky tape and then they know, then it's easy to say, okay, you can take everything except if it has a blue piece of tape on it. And so it's just a little reverse psychology to say, we love your stuff, not like get rid of all your crap, right? So anyway, that was just a tip I wanted to share.
Yeah, that's awesome. We do the same thing because it's a lot of cool stuff you could use, you know what I mean? And you don't, it's less stuff you have to stage. Terry, I think you're next.
Okay, so this is a question about the whole marketing thing. I just did a listing for coming soon tomorrow, and we have 45 showings scheduled already. So it's awesome. And I'm gonna do a video as well. So I'm wondering, when you do your videos, do you say how much and this may be a silly question, so I apologize, but do you say how much the home is listing for or no?
I don't, but I put it, sometimes I put it in the video. Josh, are we putting in the video? Do we put it in the video now?
No, typically because sometimes we've had houses where
we just lost you, bro.
we've raised it 50 grand by the time we've done our video, and then the week goes by and it's 25 grand more, so, or less, but typically right now it's more. So we typically keep that out.
So do you maybe put that on your face when I do an ad for it? Do you put it on your Facebook? You know,
Sure.
just the writing?
You're gonna put it on all of that marketing, but on something like video, we typically don't, right?
Right, because then I could use that for future marketing as well, just to show people, I suppose.
You could use it whether the price is on there or not, but you know, we put all the bedrooms, bathrooms, everything on all the other stuff. for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, can I give somebody access? Mike, I don't know. It seems like this is a really good chat, but I have to get on my accelerator call. Can I give somebody else access to be the owner and so I don't have to end it, so you guys can keep going if you want?
I'm happy to take host on that for you.
Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay, guys. So this was a great call today. It's totally not what I was going to do, but I loved it. I think it was wonderful. You guys are wonderful. Mike, where are you at? Here we go. I see you. I'm going to make you host, okay?
Okay.
Everyone, please read your manifesto, all right? Okay.
Okay, guys, we got great synergy going here, so let's keep it up. I'm here for at least 30 minutes to help out any way I can, so fire away. Raise
Awesome.
your hands and let's go forward.
I think I was next.
Okay.
I wanted to know, when are people switching from targeting 3-second views, right? Because obviously in the beginning, it's like, what else do you have? To the next level of 10-second views. Like how many people in that audience do you need to have before switching to, retargeting the 10-second views? I know like there was a couple months ago where there was a big talk about, you want to start moving up to 10 seconds. So when are people doing that?
I'll tell you from my standpoint, we'll reach out to the group here. I didn't really start retargeting at all until I had at least 30 to 35,000 in my 3-second audience. And then I continued to, even though I'm doing brand awareness and video views, I continued to do reach ads as well, continued to build my audience to the point that 3-second was good, but at some point, I think we were right around 50,000, we started going to a 10-second. And I stayed at 10-second for quite a while. And I mean, now guys, I have 557,000 people in my 3-second audience and 190,000 people in my through play, which is 30 seconds or longer. So I just continued to build it. I took from 10-second all the way to through play. Now I just retarget nothing but through play. So it depends on your market and depends on how many views you're getting, but that's kind of the formula that I use. If anyone else wants to jump in, I'd love to hear it.
That's awesome, Mike. Wow.
So at least 50,000 people in your 10-second audience.
In my opinion, yes, that's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on if you have a smaller city, you don't have enough people, you may want to start retargeting sooner. But
I'm
here in San Diego, we have 4 million people here. So
right.
That's how
I'm in the San Francisco East Bay area. We got a lot of people.
Yeah, I would go higher.
Yeah, I think, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I think right now, I think in my 3-second, I have like 130,000 people in that audience. And maybe my 10-second, I have 35,000.
I would go ahead and retarget to your 10-second. Yeah.
Just to the 10-second?
In the Bay Area, yeah. If you have that, I'd start going, at least get some of your videos out on your 10-second. Absolutely. So I'll tell you what, guys, as I continue to build my reach, I took videos. Kendra and I looked at some, and I had like 4 or 5 videos. I had 700, 800, 100% views. I thought that was just killer. I couldn't believe it. During the pandemic this last year, starting back around September, October, November, I went back and looked at a lot of those videos because I've already had all these huge captured audiences. I went back and repurposed those. Now I was getting 10 to 12,000 100% views on those when they were retargeted. So go back and look at your audiences, continue to update your audiences every single week. I do it every Sunday. And that's how I continue to build my audiences, but never stop on reach, guys. I know the program, we say 30 days, that's just going to the next level, but every video you put out, in my opinion, and I think Krista has that as well, is continue to do your reach as well.
Do you, when you make your audience the 3-second views, do you split them from reach at that point into buyers or seller categories, or do you do that later?
Well, I have buyer funnels and seller funnels, just depending. Right now, I'm just doing nothing but seller. I frankly don't want any more buyers. I have enough buyers to deal with. So everything is seller motivated. But yeah, right now it's just through play, guys. I mean, I look at that. That's where the majority of my analytics is, people looking at 30 seconds or all the way to the end of my video. And that's the people I'm retargeting.
I guess because just since I started, the videos are mostly targeted towards sellers, so that makes sense that all of mine would be sellers anyway, pretty much. But I'm just wondering, from the reach, when you're creating a new audience from your reach ad, like I made I created my 3-second view as just sellers, but I'm wondering, do you actually separate them out from the reach level, or do you separate them out like later on?
Well, it depends on what the video is. If it's if it's a buyer video, then it would just be strictly buyer. If it's seller, it'd be strictly seller. If it's evergreen, it's something that's basic. You can attach an audience to both. So it really depends on what the actual content of the video is.
Okay.
And I think what you're also asking is like retargeting a reach, the people who watch the reach ad, and then retargeting maybe an ad that was already retargeting. I think that's what you're asking. So
yeah, so
if you look at the audiences, if you look on your ads manager, right, and it'll say like, number of, 3-second views, number of 10-second views, number of all that, and you'll get a number at the bottom, but that's not unique viewers. If you go to your audience and you look at that, and you know how you populate, it shows how many populating the audience, that is the number of unique viewers. So that number is not going to match in the audiences, is not going to match what you have in your ads manager. And actually, I think that would be good you should, I think, have more numbers of higher, right, in your ads manager, because you're hoping that some of these unique viewers are watching multiple of your videos, right? So your real number of unique viewers is in your audiences.
That makes sense.
We still got a lot of hands up here. How about, I'm just gonna go down the line here, guys. I don't know who's when. Sherry Silva. Sherry, go ahead.
I think her hand.
Hi, sorry, I already went. Let me put my hand down.
You already went, okay.
Yeah, sorry
Drop
about
your hand.
that.
Okay, Riona Reese. If I said that correctly, I'm sorry if I didn't. Riona, are you there? Oh. Okay. Carrie McLean.
Hi, good morning. I was just
Good morning.
wondering, with the listing presentation video, there was some pretty significant dialogue in there about Zillow. And I know we're kind of moving away from using Zillow. Should we just take that all out of there, or what's everybody doing?
I'll tell you what I did. Zillow, I don't think Zillow's my friend, but I do out here, I have a professional photographer. It's called a Zillow highlight reel. And on some of my videos, I do the intro and the outro with my photographers. And so what I did is I highlighted showing our video with Zillow. I just showed that as a graphic, and that's it. I didn't do anything more but with Zillow. I just left it at that.
Okay, thanks. I don't care to get into advertising with them either. So I was like, I guess I'm just going to shorten this up a lot.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yep.
Yeah, I got rid of all the Zillow stuff too.
Okay, let's see who's next here. Diane. Diane. I'm sorry, I don't know how to McCogney team. I'm not trying to say that. Sorry. Nope.
Sorry, it's McConaughey.
McConaughey. Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Nobody can get that right. So I forgot to ask Krista from my original question on the just listed and just sold. So she said that she's doing them on Canva. Does anybody know where she's having them printed? Is she just using a local printer to print them and then just using the EDDM?
Hey, Josh, are you still here?
He's not. I think I don't remember the printer who she sends it out to a printer, but she said that you need to reach out to her because she said it's like really, really cheap. But
yeah, and I didn't know who that was. Okay, I'll just read out.
I think it's called, I don't know if you could hear me, I'm in the car, Blockbuster printing or something like that.
I think that sounds right.
Okay, I'll check them out. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, 1 second. I have a whole list of printers here. I have Blockbuster. I have a bunch that I've captured in all my skin in the game calls. I'm going to post that right now.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
There's a ton there. Just go ahead and get quotes. Go online. There you go. Okay. All right. Who do we got here next? Let's see. Robin Maloney? Maloney, thank you.
Hi, I have a basic question because I'm just getting started. I'm assuming everyone's multi-list has a deadline of when you sign when the seller signed the listing agreement and when it has to be in the multi-list. So I'm wondering, what do you do when it's going to be a couple of weeks until the house is ready to hit the market? Like the sellers need to do some work and then you have to do your photography and staging and everything. So how do people deal with that delay?
What state are you in?
I'm in Pennsylvania. So we
Okay.
have 48 hours to get it in the multi-list.
Yeah, here in California, we have in our car forms called SELM form. You can stick it out a month or 2 months, whatever it needs to be in order to get the repairs done before it goes on the MLS. So I would check with your local MLS and see if they have a form similar to that so you can do that.
Okay, I'll check with them, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
I think they have that rule so that you
I
can't
mean,
do that.
obviously, if you only can get it within 48 hours, then I wouldn't do the listing yet until they're ready to go. I mean, you're kind of stuck, in my opinion.
All right, thanks.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Alejandro Ventura, hey, buddy, how are you doing? I haven't talked to you for a while. You still here? His hand is up. Okay. Tracy.
Can you hear me now, Mike?
Oh, there you are, Alejandro. Good to see you.
So I was muted. Hey, just a quick question. I just heard you say to update your audiences every week. What exactly did you mean by it?
You're going back on all the new videos. If you're doing 2 videos per week, you're having new audiences watching those. You go back and update all the people who are watching that haven't watched that video. Go into office hours. If you don't know how to, they'll show you exactly how to go about doing that. It's kind of hard to explain. I just update those audiences and make sure that they've clicked on every video. So they're updated for that.
Gotcha. Just to click on the new videos that you're shooting every week.
Right. And update the audience.
That makes sense. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
And Tracy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Mike. Yeah, okay. I got a couple of questions. So retargeting, update audience, I will go to office hour. So right now I haven't do the, I'm so overwhelmed because I have like listing presentation, website, landing page, I haven't set up yet. Which one should I begin? Should I do it first?
Well, it really depends on what your ad strategy is. You know, if you're driving traffic for a listing, you know, you could be doing a traffic ad. You can do a video views ad. It just depends on, I mean, I did a lot of video view ads for retargeting. I mean, I wanted to see people that are watching videos. It really depends on what you're trying to do. If it's a listing, I'm trying to drive people to the listing on my MLS. Sometimes I'll do a landing page for it. Other times I'm just taking them right to my listing itself. So it really depends on the kind. Is Alicia still here? Maybe not. Anyone else want to jump in on that?
So we should have like a maybe landing page when we do the video ads so people can click into it or something.
Yeah, I mean, I use a lot of landing pages. I'm going to be going to ClickFunnels on all that instead of the landing pages. But yeah, I mean, I absolutely want something for them to go to. If you don't have anything to go to, guys, set up your link tree. I have a lot of people just going to link tree. So that way, at least got somewhere for them to click around. Yeah.
And I'm sorry. And one more question is, someone just mentioned about the just list, EDDM. So even the listing is not in my farming area, I should just send the EDDM in my farming area for the just listing. Is that what Krista mentioned earlier?
Well, yeah. I'm thinking if you're focusing on a specific farm and you've just listed that property, I would absolutely send that out there, and just solds as well. You want to show people that you're doing business, and EDM is the most cost-effective way of doing that.
In the farming area instead of the listing.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go outside the farming area, that's, you know, EDDM, guys, it may not always be exactly in your farm area because you're going to have postal zones, and those zones may go outside your farming area. So you're kind of stuck to what the EDDM postal zone is. It may not be in your farm, which is fine. You know, I still want those people to see it, but yeah. And then guys, I partner with my lender on a lot of those. She pays half and I pay half instead of, we just did 2,500. And instead of costing me $800 and something, it cost me $400. And she had the back side of the card and I had the front side of the card. And it was kind of a win-win for both of us. So take a look at your lender, see if they'll split it with you. Okay. Maria.
Yeah.
Okay.
Diora.
Diora, thank you. I'm not great on last names all the time. So.
Me either. Not even my own really. Earlier, there was mention about the 4-page brochure. What? And I can't remember exactly where I saw it. Can you just tell me what is it and where do we put it and what is it called when we print it?
I think it is in Canva, guys. I've seen it, and it's got her just listed or just sold, and then on the third page at the bottom, she's got a coupon where she's worked with a local vendor of some type of coupon in order to work from the community standpoint.
So
but it is in Canva.
Okay, so that's a monthly mailing that you mail out.
Yeah. She's doing EDM on that.
Like a farming mailer. Okay.
I did see that in Canva.
So where do we find that within Canva, Mike?
It's probably in the listing system, I would think.
I think it's location domination towards
There's
the
location
back.
domination. All right, thank you.
Yeah, there's a link for Canva in there.
Is there info in there about where to print it? Because I was just browsing on a printer's page as you guys were talking, and I didn't see any option to print something like that. Because I'm assuming it's like an 8.5 by 11, 4 sides, right?
Correct.
Does anybody print theirs anywhere particular? Because it seems like a pretty expensive thing to print.
Yeah, I would just take a look at a lot of the printers I put in the chat and just log me and go online. You can just get quotes that way or call them and ask them.
Okay.
I did that with my marketing plan. I contacted 4 or 5 different printers before I picked the one that I did for my marketing. For my marketing plan.
Okay. I know I receive one every month from a local agent. So, and I always think every time I see it, I think, oh my gosh, this must be a fortune.
Well, it takes, as Krista says, it takes money to make money, guys. We got to get ourselves out there. Just try to, what I do every time we sell a property, I'll take 10 or 20% of that and put it into my marketing budget and just try to be real religious about that and do that all the time, because without marketing and advertising, nobody knows who you are. So got to get that expenditure up. I'd rather not go out to dinner or movies or something and put it towards marketing.
Agree.
Okay,
sometimes your agency, your broker may pay, or they already have a program that will send out maybe 100 cards in the area that you sold a property, or even on, I don't know where you're located on the MLS. I know there's, I don't remember what it's called, but you can go through that too, and you get up to a certain amount or something. Maybe you could start off with that, with postcards. It'll help with cost. Oops.
Sure, absolutely. Anything to help with cost, guys. Let's see. Christine Son.
Yes, Sone. Hey, how you doing,
Sone,
Mike?
thank you.
Thanks for all your input. The question relates to that 4-page mailer. What are we doing? How is the mail, the post office handling it? Do we have to have it wafer sealed closed? I've never done a 4-page mailing, EDDM.
I haven't done a 4-page mailer either. I always do either 8.5 by 11 or was it 6.5 by 11. I have a company out of Corona, California that we send, my designer will design the cards. We send it to them. They do all the printing and all the mailing for us. And I'm happy to share that with you if you guys want that.
That'd be awesome.
They do a good job. So.
And they send it out EDDM?
Yep. I just send them the postal zones and they take care of the rest. So.
Good.
I don't have time to sit there and doing stacks of 100 and take them over to the post office and do all that. I just don't have time to do that. So I just pay a little bit more and have them do it. So.
Thank you.
In 1 second, I'll pull that up. If you guys, 1 second, I'll pull up Seth and you guys. Now this is in California. I don't know if it's going to help everybody else, but you could at least call them and find out.
Oh, as right. EDDM, are they going to have to be in my zip code?
It's postal zones.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
DEDDM, so California might not be able to do that.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. That's why I thought maybe call and ask them, or I
Yeah.
know that they've got a printing source outside of California as well. I think it was in Chicago or somewhere else. So I would just check with them and see if they can do it for you. But they did
Sounds great.
they've been doing some great stuff for us. So
Thank
always
you
happy
very
to
much.
share resources. You know, that's one good thing about the whole KMC family here is we all share stuff, and I love the collaboration here. So
You got that right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
you know, Wallace, I know your first name. I think it's Yvonne, but I don't remember. Sorry. But it comes across here as Wallace. I don't know why, but I remember that. Yep. Well, I don't see any more hands up, guys. Oh, wait, hold me.
Actually, I have
Let's
a
see.
question.
How about Philippe? Yeah.
Hey, so Mike, I'm like I said, I'm about 3 weeks into my first 30 days for Reach. And when you were talking about getting your audience, I don't know if I'm at that point yet, but so I've done 6 ads. Where do I see how much my, what my audience is? Because it says impressions. Is that the same thing as?
No, you want to see actual viewers. You go into Ad Manager. You got 3 little columns there, and it's a drop-down menu, and it'll say Video Engagement. And from there, you're going to be able to see people that saw your video 25% of the time, 50% of the time, 75%, 100% through play. It's all in there under Video Engagement.
Video.
There you can see, and also at the very top right, you want to see lifetime, because otherwise it may just say the last 30 days. So click at the top where it says lifetime and their video engagement, and you'll see all your stats.
I see. Okay, so like the first ad that I did had 2,300 3-second views.
Okay.
And then the second one is like 2,000. Then I had one for 2,900. You're saying you wanted to get what number of views before you retargeted?
I started retargeting when I got about 36,000 3-second views.
36,000?
Yeah.
Like
and that's remember, I'm in San Diego, guys. I have a much larger population.
Well, I'm in LA too.
But I'm running 2 videos a week, $5 a day. And I never allow my videos not to have something showing. So I do my videos on Mondays and Thursdays. They're always overlapping and they're always continuous. So I always have something being watched. I don't want to have an empty spot there, not someone seeing one of my videos.
You're talking about total views, like so.
Remember, it's only a 3-second view, guys. So that's all we have to go with when we first start. And then from there, as that starts to build, then you're starting to look at your 10-second views. Then you start looking at, you're doing your brand awareness after your first month, and then you're doing video views. By the time you get to video views, you should probably roughly have somewhere between 15 and 30,000 people. I would talk with I'm just telling you what I did. Alicia, and there's a lot of people in this group that they've done different things, and you can talk to them as well. But
how long have you been in the program?
16 months. And
you, obviously, it's working for you. You've gotten leads and sold.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm a major implementer, guys. I saw this program, and one thing I do in my skin in the game, I tell people, you got to implement. You got to do this program. You got to set your time. There's always time to do other things, but you just have to implement. And during COVID, I posted 65 to 70 video ads on Facebook last year.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I also have like 85 videos on my YouTube channel as well. So I just got them out there. And when Krista talks about repurposing, I repurpose everywhere. Instagram, IGTV, LinkedIn, it's everywhere. So, and that's where you get all the exposure.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. Okay, any other, let's see, Julie Brown, you have your hand up. Or Julia Brown, excuse me.
That's okay. I just wanted to share something that I started, doing. Google Maps, where you go out and you kind of say, where you are, you put your information, and you can kind of get a free Google website to go with that. So I have all of that, but I ran across a thing, and I actually found it from another agent, but I don't think they really knew what they were utilizing. So I started digging into it a little more. And you can actually, like, I'm in Southwest Florida. So I'm setting up a map with Southwest Florida, and it'll be a link to me. So it's like a link I can send out to people, because in my area, people will say, oh, you know, where's the boat ramps? Where's the dog parks? Where's the restaurants? Where's this? So I have it by city in my area, and I've got like all the restaurants, all like everything like that. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a place on it where you can actually make a video to where you are saying, you know, hey, I'm outside this restaurant, you know, here's the menu, it's great. Or you could do it at the dog park or whatever. But anyway, the whole purpose of it is all those videos you add into it. I also put backlinks to all those businesses and stuff, that when somebody comes in my area and they ask a question, I share it with them. And then on top of that, if I have any listings or anything, I add it in there and it shows where they are to everything. So I noticed people started like sharing it with other people, you know, like friends that come down there like, oh yeah, you know, I got this thing from this realtor here, you know, and it's got all my info and everything on it. I've got it taken down right now because I'm trying to add a lot more stuff to it. But it's just something that I did that it seems like it's working. It gets me out there. And it's also stuff that somebody's going to keep, you know what I mean? Because, and share.
Well, I think those short little videos too, Julia, could be great for Instagram Reels. If you guys haven't done Reels yet, Instagram Reels is their version of TikTok, but the exposure I've gotten on some of my Reels have been absolutely amazing. I'm just thinking those little videos you're talking about would be perfect there.
Yeah, so just something that I ran across, started doing and working on.
I love it. Thanks for sharing. Great.
Mike, what are you doing for Reels? What kind of videos are you doing? Just anything?
Just a variety of stuff. I mean, you know, just you know, the other day I was I do a 5-mile walk every morning, and I noticed this new connector was just getting ready to open up. I did a quick little video on the connector, and I got huge audiences on that. Just, you know, not everything has to be real estate, guys. They want to see that you're real, you're authentic, you're a real person. And I'll do stuff like that. I'll be at the beach and I'll say, "Good morning, Carlsbad," and I'll talk about this, that, and the other, whatever. It's just a quick little reels. I just love that kind of stuff. So
thank you.
Yeah. If you haven't done Reels, guys, check it out. It's not very difficult. It's kind of like Instagram Stories, but it stays where Instagram Stories goes away. But it's fun to do. Give it a try. You can definitely check it out on YouTube if you want to learn more about it. All right, Tracy, do you have another question?
Yeah, one last question. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I'm kind of slow. And for the love letter, it's no more in California. I didn't know that.
I'm sorry, say again, please.
I just want to confirm it's no more love letter to seller in California. Really?
It's actually a NAR. It's a NAR and CAR deal. For those of us, it's National Association of Realtors and California Association of Realtors. But it doesn't mean you can't send a video. I've been sending video texts to the listing agent. And I talk about how strong my clients are, why they should be considered. And I have a full bullet and do all that. And I'll do it through a BombBomb video if I'm sending the offer via email, or I'll do a video text, either way.
Okay, but we can
nothing
send...
about nothing. As far as I know, I was a broker owner for a long time. To the listing agent, I don't see there's any problem with that. But to the client or to the seller, there's issues about discrimination. So that's why they 86 that.
Got it. Thank you. Just want to confirm that.
Sure.
I love the sending a carbon monoxide detector with your offer. That's brilliant.
Yeah. It is
brilliant
because you know they were talking earlier. You know, here in California, if they do an appraisal and the CO monitors are not there, and the appraiser has to come back out to do a follow up, which is called a 442. It's about $150 to $200. You know, that's perfect. Just to, you know, it's like $25 at Home Depot for each CO monitor. Here in California, every floor has to have one. That's not a really expensive deal to provide and be able to provide that and show goodwill. I love that idea. All right, guys, anything else? I need to get off here in about 3 minutes. I have to get ready for Krista's call as well. But,
thank you, Mike.
Hey, guys. I love this group. Everybody collaborates. It's a lot of fun. And I love these Krista calls on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So many people have so many great things to share. So thanks for sharing, everyone.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, guys. Have a great day. Stay safe. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Hi, Mike.
Yes.
I just want to let you know I didn't come to the 5 a.m. skin in the game, but then I go to the 7 a.m. one because I really can't get up at 5. I'm still going.
No worries, no worries. I know 5 o'clock for California is tough to get up. That's why I have a lot of people from the Midwest and the East Coast, but
Thank you.
no worries, no worries.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, have a great day.
Hey there, I have a brand new podcast called Fired Up with Krista Mashore, where I bring my high energy right to your ears. This podcast is available on all your favorite podcast platforms. So do me a favor, go subscribe and leave a review. All this information is free and I cannot wait to teach you everything I know. Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.